Hello everyone, it's Robin Dudley House, the Artsy Bohemian, coming to you from my studio in Los Angeles, California. I have a couple things I want to share with you, and I have some happy mail here. As most of you know who've been following me, I love red lead rubber stamps, and I placed an order recently, and I was waiting for the order, and about a week later I got an email saying that my order had been canceled, and I was crushed. I was like, what? I didn't cancel my order. So I contacted them, said I was confused, and they're so sweet. They gave me this. I almost started crying. So I haven't opened it. I've had it for a couple days. I wanted to open it in front of you guys and then make something with it, and maybe some other new art supplies that I've gathered. They said that they appreciate me using their stamps and posting on social media, and I just was so excited. So here's the front. I'm not going to show you my... Look at how cute all of the new... They're huge. I had no idea they were this huge, some of these rubber stamps. I have this one, the owl, the raven. This is new, that's new, that's new, that's new, that's new. Do I have that one? I think I have that one. So let's see what we got here. Look at how cute. They always package everything with Snug Hug ribbon. Smells like the ink, the Ranger archival ink, which I love. Smells like cookies to me. Isn't that cute? They always give you a really cute box and they put everything in. Oh my gosh, I didn't order all of this. Wow. Some beautiful... I've been wanting this one. I love that. Premium red rubber on wood. Wicked Potions. These are the ones I actually ordered. I am totally excited about using Sprinkle Happiness. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Been totally getting into stencils. I've used stencils over the years, and I did the fodder challenge a couple weeks ago. Look at how pretty this ribbon is. And now I have lots of new girl crushes, and I've been just watching and working on new art projects. So maybe I'll share some of those with you in a tutorial. I loved this because of the hand and the sayings. Look at how sweet that is. This fairy. So many possibilities. I just love all of it. Especially since I can see new ways that artists are using their stencils. Oh my god, look at how cute that is. I love the candles. So cute. I pretty much have all of their stencils, I think, from a long time ago for Halloween. I love this kind of folkloric looking Scandinavian kind of looks like Scandinavian kind of folk art. So cool. And look at how cute this is. So cute. Can make a totally cute witch with that. I'm really excited to play with these. They always send super cute things you can put in your journals. This is like a journal pocket that they rubber stamp. They probably just have so much fun making their packaging. You kind of have to, because if you're somebody that sends packages in the mail, that's not the fun part. The fun part is making the stuff. Look at how cute. And they always give you a little download. And there's some charms in there. How cute is that? See how cute this is? I always save these. Oh, thank you for your order, Chris and Sharon. Some cute tags to... Oh, I'm told that's what I'll work with. I'll work with these. That'll be simple and quick. Some fun Halloween charms to add to my collection. Let's see. Ooh, this is cute. That's like an owl. That's an old style mold, this right here. Oh. and a ghost. I don't have that one. A little tiny pumpkin, a little skeleton with crossbones. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. It's like a rat. I've never seen that before. I love it. And look at how cute this is. I hope you guys can see this. I just realized my camera might not be focusing. Oh, this is, I got this super cute digital download. There's some ideas for their work, their things they have in their store. Look at how cute he is. So cute. I think I can put this on the stencil, maybe. Look at how cool this is. The paper they use is really good quality too. It's really clear. I've been getting their digitals and things from them for years. Look at how cute this is. I didn't order this either, but I'll take it. Everything's all nicely packaged. And I think this is the one I ordered. I love these images. I've never seen these before. I think they're from an old book. So stay tuned. I'm going to be making some stuff and also making some announcements. So a big shout out to Red Lead. Thank you so much, Sharon. And your sister, I forget your sister's name. I'll have to find it here. I really appreciate this. I was shocked and I was so excited to get this, and I'm happy I was able to open it in front of everybody on YouTube. And now I'm going to create something. Chris and Sharon, sorry. Thank you, ladies. I really appreciate you guys. You gals. So I've been wanting to send my best friend in Ireland a Halloween card, and I always make it bigger than it should be because I always want to decorate the envelope, and then it takes me forever to come around doing it. So I thought this would be perfect timing. I'm just going to show you. I just put an outline where her address would be, but this is something I've been doing for years. I love sending happy mail to my friends with whatever theme I'm going to be using for the day. So this is a Red Lead stencil, the one I got in the mail. These words are from Red Lead. This is from, I believe that's from Red Lead. A lot of these stamps are really old, and I've had them for quite a while. Some of them are from Stamping Up. Actually, I don't know if that's Red Lead or not. But, yeah, so that's what I did. This is from Red Lead, this really cool tree. They had given that to me last year, and I hadn't had a chance to use it. And so is the owl. So I just thought I would show you that. It's just distressed with like a, a mustard type ink pad first, and then some brown or walnut ink, and then just stamped with my favorite, and I got the big hunkin' one, the big archival jet black Ranger, and just stamped in black, and just did it all over the place. This is also a stencil. I believe it's from Dilutions. So yeah, I just thought that would be something I could show you, and we'll be moving on to a tutorial soon here. Alright, I have a short, quick tutorial. I know we're always looking for something quick to do, so I'm going to take one of the stencils that I got from Red Lead, and you can see I already used the kitty cat on the envelope that I just showed you. So it's going to be super simple, nothing big, but I stained this with some coffee, a little bit of spray, and then I did a little bit of distressing around the edges because I didn't want it to be, boring looking. So I am going to stencil the candles on the bottom, and I thought I would try to do a two-tone. So this is an experiment. We'll see if it works. So what I want to do is I want to start off maybe with a little vintage, because I think I want to try to do kind of a ombre or two-tone. Oops. Actually, I should start with the light color. That's what I should do first. And then go in with the dark. So I have this ink pad. I was looking for an orange ink pad. I completely forgot I had this. Let me know in the comments below if you guys remember these. They were all the rage. And I'm pretty sure all the colors have bled into one. So I'm going to try to find a lighter orange color on here. But isn't that beautiful? It was, these were ink pads that you could buy for rubber stamps. And it looks like it's kind of dark. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to be orange or not. But I'm going to try a little bit here. Oh, it's kind of a dark orange. And I should tape this down, but I'm not. I'm daubing it darker in some areas and lighter in others, so there's some depth to the candle, but there'll still be a shadow from the stencil. If you don't want your stencil to move around, especially since I'm doing this at the very edge, you might want to tape it, but I'm not taping it, so. Cute. So there is some shadow on there, but what can you do? I'm going to try to just do that one more time, maybe a little bit stronger. And then, maybe I'll try to add a little bit of orange, like real orange. Kind of in the center, so there, it looks like there's some kind of highlight on the candle. That's pretty, I like that. I'm going to take and completely stencil the whole word here, sentence, candles flicker, on this scary night. And I will tape this one down with some painter's tape just because it's kind of a large area to stencil. I hope all of you are having a wonderful day. I've been really having a great time the last week here, fangirling over a new artist that I found on Instagram, and she was having a 5-day paint-a-thon, and it was only $10, and I am fangirling over her so much. I bought her membership. I just love her teaching style. Her name's Allie Kay, and she's freaking amazing. Amazing artist. Really sweet, and I'm waiting for my paints to come in so I can paint some more. I have a lot of paint, but she uses golden and she uses a certain palette, and I didn't have any of them. So I had one that was completely dried up from years ago. If you haven't subscribed to my channel and you like my content, I don't post a ton, but when I do, I usually have some kind of free tutorial So go ahead and subscribe, and when you do subscribe, make sure you hit not only the subscribe button, but if you click the subscribe button again, you'll see on the very top it says all. That way you'll see all of my posts. And like I said, I'm not going to bombard you. I don't, maybe once a month, maybe twice a month now. I used to do it every week because I'm going to be announcing another artsy boutique next week, and you don't want to miss it. I'm going to be selling things that are priced to sell, and I have some good stuff that you would probably be interested in as a journaler, and if you make jewelry and beads. So you don't want to miss that. Cute. Oops. Some of it bled over here. Isn't that cute? I mean, just that's cute enough. But I'm going to add this, and I think I'm going to tone it down. Oops, that's black. I don't want that. I'm going to have to do another one. These were left over from a class that I just taught, where I showed you how to make a journal, and the journal had shaker cards in it. And so these were left over. Of course, I couldn't throw them away. So it was like a cute pumpkin or jack-o'-lantern gumball machine. So all I did was I kind of followed the curvature of the pumpkin. These are made from foam core. And kind of just did lines like this. Not straight, complete lines, but curved, dotted, or lines like this. So you can kind of see the seams in the pumpkin. And let's see if this looks good on this little tag that we're making. So I'm going to put it here, and I think that looks cute. I'm going to wait for it to dry because I want to tone it down. Then I have some lace that I'm going to slip into the hole here. I might have to cut it down a little bit. And you have an instant, cute, quick, you can make a bunch of these within an hour. And how cute is that? Actually, I'm only going to tie the long black one, I think. That's a little bit too much. I'm actually going to keep this. I kind of like it big like that. And I just made a mistake, and I love the way it came out. So I took some distressed oxide, which I never use. I bought this on accident because I thought it was just regular dye. And it's the antique linen. And look at how cool it looks when you brush it lightly. It looks like chalk, like a chalkboard. And I just did it lightly. I wouldn't overdo it, but it just gives these wonderful highlights. Isn't that a happy accident? And if you've ever used Distress Oxide, you know that it stays wet for a bit. So I just did a little tiny bit on here, and I just keep playing with it, and I'm really loving this. Boy, I love when things like this happen. I had no intention of doing that. I was going to just highlight with the pen. So what I did, like I showed you, I did the pen here, and to kind of tone, I was thinking, well, the white's too white. And so that's when I started taking the dye ink and I started going over it. And then I thought, well, what about this ink? And then that's what happened. So, really love that. So I am going to just kind of tone down that white a little bit with that orangish color, that burnt orange. And again, just, there's still ink on this. You get that cool highlight chalk effect. And don't put too much on there. Just start at the top and the bottom so you get those nice kind of highlights on the top, and then kind of scooch it a little bit in the centers between those lines if you have something like this. If you have like a rubber stamped image that you have, you know, of a pumpkin, you could do the same thing. Just don't make the highlights uniform. They shouldn't look like a robot did it. It should kind of look natural. Okay, I love that. Then I had some of this dyed. I probably dyed this in one of my dye classes. By the way, I have an online school if you're new to my channel. And I have all kinds of mixed media art classes and journal classes and jewelry classes and altered art. So I do like the candles. I kind of didn't want to hide them. I should do it on this side because I made a boo-boo. Just kind of set it off on the side. Cute. Probably should put some hot glue on that. And then I do want to make a stem. I know this is a little bit more than you need to do, but maybe I could just do a little bow or something there. So in the same die that I have for these pumpkins, there's a stem. So I'm going to put the stamp on, and this one I had made from, you know, that sparkly foam that you can get in the children's craft section. That's what that is. And then I'm just going to glue this down with some hot glue. I hope my glue thing is working. All of a sudden all my glue guns aren't really working. And I'm putting this a little bit off the side on the bottom, just because I like the candles showing a little bit more. And then I'm just going to glue this down with regular glue. I know it kind of covers some of the candle, but you can still see it. I just couldn't not put a stem on there. So you could even draw one in if you don't have one, unless you're using a rubber stamp. These are just those flat back plastic pearls that you can buy at the craft store. And then I always tea dye them because they're too white. So it's just a little extra step, but I really like the way that they look because everything I do is kind of antique looking, you know. Happy first day of fall. It is my most favorite time of the year. I wish it was fall all the time. Not only because I love Halloween, but I love the weather. I don't like the heat, and luckily we weren't affected by the heat this summer. So we got lucky. Not a lot of people were lucky. And there's the train going by because I live close to the Port of LA. Isn't that cute? So quick and easy. You guys go support Red Lead. I love them. They're a small business, and they're sweet ladies, and this is what they do, and I think they love what they do because they've been around for a while. Not a lot of rubber stamp companies have stuck it out. So, like I said, this is from, this is a Stencil. And one other thing I just wanted to show you is what I used because I kind of went fast. So I did use kind of a variegated rubber stamp pad. I don't even know if these kinds of things are still around, but if you can't get something like this, try to use 2 different colors. It kind of makes a really cool look. This was a little bit of orange and then that kind of burnt orange with it. Even a brown color would look cool. And yeah, and this was just the black, rubber stamp pad that we all love using, the Ranger ink black permanent. This one, archival ink. I use it so much I decided just to get the big one. I have the small one and the big one. Awesome, waterproof. You can, if you did something like this and you wanted to watercolor on top of it, you could. Look at how cute. I just love that. Maybe that's been done. It probably has, and I'm just kind of late to the party on that look with the Oxide, the Distress Oxide, but it's new to me, so maybe it's new to you too. Okay, I'm going to show you one more. I'm going to do kind of more of a folkloric because I love the Scandinavian kind of folklore look. With the other 2 tags that Red Lead had given me, they're just kind of drying. I just spritzed them a little bit with some coffee. By the way, I just take old Distress or whatever, spray bottles and make my own dyes. And this one has actually some coffee in it. It's a coffee dye that I just take some boiling water, about a cup of boiling water, and about a half a cup of cheap instant coffee. Plop it in the boiling water, stir it around, let it dry. Let it cool. And then I'll add more water to it because that way I don't have to wait for the water to boil. If I just put a little bit in there, it'll boil quicker. So once it's cooled off, then I'll pour some in one of these containers, and I have it. It's small, it's in my studio, and I can just spritz whatever I want quickly. I will have a link down below for the dye that I used for the cute pumpkin. It doesn't look like this. This is a byproduct of what it looks like. So here's like a skeleton of it. Like I said, it's a jack-o'-lantern gumball machine. Super cute. I'll leave a link down below for the dye. Also, the stencil I used, this right here, the candles flicker with the kitty cat and the candles. It's called Cat's Prow Halloween Stencil. And the next one I'm going to be using is Happy Flowers Stencil. They're all 6x6. Okay, so I am doing the same thing. I'm taking a blending tool and I'm kind of doing half and half on this one because I don't really use these colors that often. So I'm doing like an olive green, and this is called denim blue, but you can use whatever colors you want because I kind of want to make some ephemera for our shabby blue that I've been working on for way too long. But I thought it'd be fun to have some shabby blue tags for the journal. So all I'm doing is I'm putting about half, and this is tissue paper from a pattern. Thought it would be kind of fun to work with, to layer. And I'm going to kind of let some of the green kind of come up a little bit onto the flower so it'll blend. And then you can kind of peel it up. It looks so cool to see if it's sticking. Ooh, that's a lot of blue. And then I'll do a little bit more green up at the top. Yellow would look cute, but I don't want to go get my yellow. So see how I'm just doing half and half. Cute! And you could clean these off right away with some rubbing alcohol or some soap and water. And I'm going to just take a... Actually, I think I'm going to finish this one off. I'm going to take some water and a watercolor brush and tear the edges so I can just lay them down if I want to. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them on the tags, but isn't that just like so cute? This is one of those cool... Ooh, do I have any water in that one? I don't. It's a watercolor brush. It has a barrel on it so you can fill it with water. Here's another one. Probably has water in it, I hope. Yep, it does. And it just makes it easier to tear it out. Let that dry. Alright, this is a fun technique. I'm going to be using some watercolor paper. You can buy small little pads like this at Hobby Lobby. Of course, when they have their half off or 40% off, it's even better. They're great for to travel with and move from one room to the other in your house. And this is something that you could do while you're watching TV and just make a bunch of them so you have them ready. This is a 140 pound, I believe, cold press. Doesn't actually say, oh yeah, 140 pound cold press. And it's just great for watercoloring. So I'm taking one of the red lead stamps, the folklore one, the flower one, and I am going to hold it down. And with a pencil, I'm just using a fine mechanical pencil. I'm going to just make an outline of this adorable flower very, very lightly. Because we're going to watercolor these in and then outline them. This is something similar to what Megan Quinlan does with her stencils and her artwork, and I just love the effect. I'll show you some others that I've been working on that are a little bit more detailed, but so you can do all over, but I'm just going to do the one right there. You're going to take your watercolor. Now it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be a watercolor artist. You don't have to have anything fancy. Even try maybe using children's, watercolor sets. We're just going to be using a couple of colors. I have to go grab my watercolor pen. Pans. I'll be right back. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that I always use these for any watercoloring that I do. It's the Jane Davenport. I like them because they are small and they're travel size, and I've been using them for years. I don't know if you can find this exact set, but they're all different companies have these little travel size. So I am just going to be using these. Another trick that I learned years ago from Stampin' Up! Is you can take a ink pad and kind of press the lid down so that it'll gather some ink right there, and you will have an instant watercolor. like that. So, I am going to be using the blues in this because I still want to keep that theme going. So, usually when you buy these, they have a thing that you can fill out to put all the colors on here. And let's see, this one has all the cool tones, and then this one has all the warm tones. So there's kind of a true blue right there. And I think I'll go ahead and kind of just do that. So when you use these, if you're not familiar with them, you just kind of press the barrel and the water will come out. Maybe we'll put it a little bit closer. And just kind of stay within the lines. It always looks darker when it's wet, so if you wanted to, you could go back over it when it dries. And I kind of squished a lot of water on there because I like that look. And then you just kind of leave it and let it dry. And I think what I'll do is maybe add, for variety, add a little bit of a different kind of a blue. I think this is a dark blue. Yeah. Here is kind of putting blobs. And I will add some usually have a piece of scrap paper to kind of take the color off. So I'm going to add some green, and I kind of like a olive green, so I'm just going to mix some greens over here until I like the colors that I see. Just added a little kind of orangey, burnt orange in there to get that olive green. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to connect these so that when I cut, I'm going to be cutting these out so they'll all stay together. And never mind my rude neighbors. They're young boys and they're kind of loud sometimes. And maybe put some different color green in there. That's a little bit too much. And kind of don't be afraid to squish the water out. It gives that super cool watercolor look. So again, if you want this more olive, just take a color that, this one's called Kiss Kiss, which is, I have no idea why she said that, but it's kind of a brick color, like the color of an orange brick. Oops, I didn't mix it. It's okay if you go outside of the lines a little bit. You do have to wait in between to make sure everything dries if you want to do another coat. Isn't that cute? And then it's super quick. Don't be afraid. It's just, if you don't like it, you can do another one. Once it dries, it looks really cool. And I'm going to do some yellow here. And I kind of squeeze my barrel, and I'm just going to wait for that to dry because I might want to add a little bit more color in there. While we're waiting for this to dry, don't worry about these little dots here. We're going to be connecting them to the flower once it dries with lines so they look like, you know, little things coming out of the flower. I sped up the process a little bit by using my heat gun. So I want to do another blue, but I want to do more like a pastel blue, and so what I will do for that is I will add white. There's always white usually in these pans, and some blue. That's it. Just kind of mix those two together. And I'm pressing my barrel quite a lot. And you can kind of mix it over on the side if you want to. There's a little green in there still, even though I thought I got a bunch of it out. And a little bit of blue. And it makes this really pretty pale blue. So isn't that pretty? So you can get another color of blue. I'll leave a link down below also for these amazing watercolor brushes. I'm going to take some water and sop it up on the other side here. Maybe add a little darker blue here. And so I just wanted to mention too, when you are drawing your stencils on here, it's the lightest touch of the pencil. It's very, very faint. And really, it's try to use a mechanical pencil if you have one, because the tip is really fine usually. This is just a cheapy one. It's a 0.7. So I also have 0.3s as well, but 0.7 are more universal. So I'm going to just leave those, and then I will the stencil on here, because these lines are so thin, it's just to indicate the stem. So it'll look kind of like I just drew a line, but we're going to paint over that with some watercolor. And when you are using these, when the lines are really faint, just be careful because they can bend up like that. There's been so many times where I've been too rough and I've bent my stencils, so I'm just kind of like a little spastic sometimes. So I am going to take this color off of a piece of scrap paper here on the side. I'm squeezing as much blue out as I can, and I am going to add some yellow for the little dots here. Maybe I like an orange yellow. And they don't have to be perfect because we are going to be adding, like I said earlier, lines. I think I just added a little. Ooh, that's a pretty color. I did kind of a bright green with a little yellow, and it's kind of a chartreuse. So these smaller flowers, try to make the stem a little thick because we're going to be cutting them out, and they should, you know, if you cut them too thin, they'll kind of fall apart. If you don't like the color that you lay down, you can take your finger and just kind of dot it off, or have a towel next to you so that you can do that. Just gently. And I am squeezing the barrel, not too much because this is so tiny. This is such a tiny space to paint in. that I'm trying to be more controlled. And these are a little bit brighter because I might be putting them next to each other. I'm not sure, but I just like the contrast anyway. And you do want to, I am kind of connecting these because, like I said, we are cutting them out. And I'm making the stem thicker. And I'm adding a little bit more down to the bottom here. It'll all make sense in the end once you see the next part that we're going to be doing. I add a little more color here. Alright, we're just going to let that dry. I'm gonna, since I'm waiting for these to dry, I'm gonna make like a little folk art kind of heart, just freehand. And all you do is, oops, I don't like that, is kind of make one point here and one point here. And that wasn't supposed to be there. Might have to make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make a little, I kind of was not paying attention. And I'm pressing the barrel of the brush and going all the way down. And we'll just have this as a fun addition if we want. Adding some blue in there. Just make a circle. I just like taking advantage of all the space that's all the little pieces here in between. Because I honestly, I don't use blue very often, but because I had started that series of several months back, I've been collecting blue things. So, and it's this particular blue that I like. It's kind of a muted blue, and in fact, I might add a little, maybe I'll add a little brown to it. Make another heart. You just don't want to get everything super close together because we do need some space when we cut these things out. So I'm just going to leave that. Let it dry. Just adding a little bit of brown on the edges. They're almost dry. Now we're going to take a Uniball Signo. I don't know if this is the right one. One of them's not working right now. And we're going to outline just on the inside of, and you have to wait till this is dry. This will not work if they're not dry. So if for those of you who are new, this is one of the most amazing gel pens that lots of artists use. It's by Uniball Signo. It's made in Japan, and it's a white gel pen. I have a ton of them. In case I ever lose one, I could just grab another one. Because you know how we artists are, kind of flinging things around. So I'm not sure. I think what I'm going to do is I might make this a little separate here. So see how you need to have this thick, even though on the stencil it's not thick. So lots of artists are doing this thing, and I know that Red Lead does this a lot with the white gel pens. They always outline a lot of their things, their rubber stamps, and I just love the look. So I'm doing that with this. And that's why it's okay if your watercolor looks kind of blobby, because you're going to kind of tighten it up with these cool white lines, and you're going to love it. Isn't that, I mean, it just looks so cool. And I think I'm going to just kind of make a little doodad there. Whatever that thing is called on the flower. So I'm going to keep doing that. Make sure these are all dry. That one's not dry. These are dry. So and you can see the pencil lines on this, but I don't mind that. You can go back in there and make little dots if you wanted to, so it's more decorative. I typically just do freeform, and I'll show you some freeform flowers that I have done. Like I said, I was really inspired by Megan Quinlan. And that's not her full name, I know. Oh, Megan Quinlan Studio. She does this quite a bit, and Tiffany Sharp. So, I don't know if this is wet. And if your pen kind of just poops out, just kind of do this and it'll reactivate it. Like I said, Red Lead does this quite a bit. And then you can just kind of doodle. And this is such a fun thing to do when you don't want to think, but you want to still create. And then if you want, we can connect, make little fine lines. I might just do it in pencil here, really faintly. And that might be enough too, without making it darker. I have these really fine pens, and I'd prefer to use a brown one. I have a brown one, but it's pretty, it's a little bit too, maybe a little bit too thick. Yeah, I'm not sure I want to do that. I mean, I could do watercolor. It would have to be super fine. I might do that. Let me see if that'll work here. Let me just show you up close what it looks like so far. So if you are going to do the watercolor, I wouldn't squeeze the barrel. Just kind of get a fine line and just be, you know, you're going to use your pinky to kind of rest so that it will steady your hand. And that won't take long to dry because we barely used any water. So here's one I was just freehanding some different kind of Scandinavian type images. And it was all watercolor, and you can see, you can just go crazy with all the doodling. How fun is that? You can just make lots of hearts and circles if you want to just start out with. And then I have a little pile of more simple ones in here. Because we're going to be cutting them out. And then you can just start a pile of your own little pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out these, and all you do is you're going to kind of make a little bit of a frame around the piece. These aren't the best scissors. I have to go find my scissors. I tell you, whenever I teach a class, I bring all my stuff to class, and if I don't put it away right away, then I have to go get it and put everything away. I'll be right back. I added more doodles. Dots work great, little squiggly lines. I love the stamens. I think that's what they are. Or the little parts of the flower up top. And I'm just going to cut out the rest of these flowers and then see how they look on the tags. And then add one little extra touch with this rubber stamp, the folklore. Because I feel like it's appropriate for these types of little flowers. So I'm going to cut these all out and I'll be back. Okay, look how cute. So I cut them all out, and you can see how stinking cute they are on their own when they're cut out. So this is on the smallest tag, and that's just a little piece I had done to kind of fill in. So my camera died, and I was just ready to show you the layout, and I am really loving how this turned out. I'm gonna just stamp a little bit of script on it, but look at how cute that is. So this tag is a rubber stamp from Red Lead. I love it, and I just stamped it on really old ledger paper. They also have these, which you've seen me use, and I'm pretty sure they still have these. These are fantastic. I use these all the time. So they're unmounted, but really, actually, they're very easy to use and stamp with. So what I did was, on this one, this is our cute little flower here, and I just stamped this stamp, which is by Stampendous. I believe I got it on sale somewhere. I can't remember. Maybe, I don't think it was, I don't know. It might have been Hobby Lobby. But any kind of script will do. So I'm going to glue that down. I like the way that looks. So this would be nice ephemera for my little journal, my blue one. And then I did this at first, which I kind of like as well, but I think I'm going to do it this way. And I'm going to actually stamp this in black. If I can find my black pad that I just had. I want to thank Red Lead again so much for the generous Happy Mail that I received, and I continue to love your stamps, and I love creating with them. So thanks again, Chris and Sharon. Appreciate it. Stick it under there. I don't know, I might do that too. But I think you get the gist. This was just a little half, like, quarter moon shape that I thought looked pretty, and it'll match everything. The great thing about watercolor paper is it's so nice and sturdy, and it just adds like a nice little touch. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope you're inspired to make something quick. Tags are always easy to do. You can make a bunch of them. And I love this technique. Like I said, I've seen Red Lead do it quite for years now, and then I've recently saw, I believe it was Megan Quinlan, they did a fodder challenge, and a lot of them use this technique of watercoloring on water paper and then cutting a bunch of stuff out and using it for journal making or mixed media art. It's so much fun. It's so freeing. You don't have a project in mind. You're just making stuff. Oops, I put glue on the edge of that. So I think I actually do like it here. And this can just be added to wherever I do on my journal. Oh, I meant to stamp it a little bit too. There you go. So we had those and this. Super cute. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, my YouTube channel. And if you love Halloween, I have enrollment open right now for my Secret Spooky Society. It's going to be closing in November, the beginning of November. And then it won't open until next year again. So you'll have access to over 35 tutorials, I think now, maybe close to 40. Instantly. It's a monthly membership and you pay every month, and if you only just want to do a couple months, that's okay. Of course, we have lots of people that stay a lot longer, and we have live Zoom calls, and we have just really fun, nothing gory, nothing horror related. It's all kind of what I'm calling like shabby goth Victorian style that we do. And stay tuned for a video showing you all of the wonderful things that we've made. So thanks again for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video.